have you ever wondered what separates the truly successful from those who just dream about it? It's not always talent, or luck, or even resources. More often than not, it's a single, powerful word: discipline. Today, I want to tell you a story that perfectly illustrates this. A story about a young farmer named Leo and his wise old neighbor, Silas. Leo was young, strong, and full of ambition. He inherited a plot of land and dreamed of turning it into the most prosperous farm in the valley. He pictured fields overflowing with golden wheat, a barn full of healthy livestock, and a life of comfort and abundance. But Leo was also impatient. He wanted results now. He'd work furiously for a day, tilling the soil with incredible energy, only to spend the next 2 days resting, convinced he'd done enough. He'd plant seeds sporadically, whenever the mood struck him, not when the season was right. He saw discipline as a cage, a boring routine that stifled his creative spirit. Next to Leo's haphazard fields was Silas's farm. Silas was an old man, his movements slow and deliberate. Yet, his farm was a marvel. His crops grew in perfectly straight, weed-free rows. His animals were robust and content. His harvests were consistently the best in the valley. Every single morning, without fail, Silas was out in his fields as the sun rose. He'd methodically check his soil, water his plants, pull the weeds, and tend to his animals. It wasn't flashy or exciting work, but it was constant. Leo would often watch Silas and scoff. "Old man Silas," he'd say to himself, stuck in his boring routine. "He doesn't know how to live. I work twice as hard as him when I feel inspired." He failed to see that his short bursts of intense effort were no match for Silas's unwavering daily commitment. The first season was a harsh lesson for Leo. A sudden dry spell hit the valley. Silas's crops, with their deep roots nurtured by consistent watering, survived and even thrived. He had dug irrigation channels little by little, day after day, long before the drought came. Leo's plants, however, had shallow roots in soil that hadn't been properly prepared. They withered and died under the harsh sun. His burst of energy hadn't prepared him for the long game of nature. That winter was a lean one for Leo. He had to buy grain from others, and his pride was stung when he had to knock on Silas's door for help. Silas welcomed him without judgment. He shared his bountiful harvest and offered Leo a warm meal. As they sat by the fire, Leo, humbled, finally asked the question that had been burning in his mind. "Silas, how do you do it? Your farm is a paradise, while mine is a failure. You're older, yet you accomplish so much more." Silas smiled, a gentle, knowing smile. He pointed to a small, gnarled bonsai tree sitting on his windowsill. "Do you see this tree, Leo?" he asked. "Years ago, it was just a wild sapling. Every day, for years, I've trimmed a tiny branch here, wired a small shoot there, and given it just the right amount of water and light. I didn't try to shape it all in one day. That would have killed it. The tree you see today is the result of thousands of small, disciplined actions." He continued, "Your farm is no different. Abundance doesn't sprout from a single day of frantic work. It grows from the soil of daily discipline. Waking up early, even when you're tired. Weeding, even when it's tedious. Repairing a fence, even when it seems small. Each action is like a single coin dropped into a jar. On its own, it feels insignificant. But day after day, the coins add up. One day, you look up and the jar is overflowing. That, Leo, is abundance." That conversation changed everything for Leo. He realized discipline wasn't a prison. It was the key to freedom. It wasn't about punishment, it was about purpose. The next spring, Leo started over. He didn't try to copy Silas's slowness, but he adopted his consistency. He created a schedule. He got up with the sun, just like Silas. He learned to till, plant, and water with care and precision, day in and day out. There were days he wanted to quit, days his muscles ached, and his old habits of impatience called to him. On those days, he would look over at Silas, steadily working in his field, a living reminder of his goal. He would think of the bonsai tree and the overflowing jar. He pushed through the discomfort, choosing the long-term reward over short-term ease. He was no longer just working, he was building. Years passed. Leo's farm began to transform. The fields became lush and green, his barn filled with healthy animals. He became known not for his bursts of energy, but for his reliable, high-quality produce. He wasn't just a farmer anymore. He was a craftsman. The abundance he had once only dreamed of was now his reality. He had built it, not with one grand gesture, but with 1,000 small, disciplined steps. One evening, a young, ambitious newcomer to the valley came to Leo, seeking advice. He looked at Leo's prosperous farm with awe and asked, "How did you do it? What's your secret?" Leo smiled, a gentle, knowing smile, just as Silas had all those years ago. He pointed not to his fields or his barn, but to the rising sun. "The secret," he said, "is to show up for that every single day. Discipline today brings abundance tomorrow." This story isn't just about farming. It's about every single one of us. What is the farm you are trying to cultivate in your life? Is it your health? Your career? A skill you want to master? A relationship you want to nurture? The temptation is always there to wait for a burst of inspiration, to do it all at once. But real, lasting success, true abundance, is built on the foundation of daily discipline. It is the decision to go to the gym when you'd rather stay on the couch. It's writing one page of your book every day, even when you feel uninspired. It's choosing a healthy meal over junk food. It's putting a small amount of money into savings instead of spending it impulsively. Each of these acts is a coin in the jar. They don't feel like much at the moment, but they compound over time into a life you can be proud of. So, I ask you today, what is one small, disciplined action you can take? Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Don't overwhelm yourself with a grand plan. Just focus on that one small thing. Water that one seed. Pull that one weed. Lay that one brick. Because the masterpiece of your life isn't painted in a single, frenetic stroke. It's created through the patient, deliberate, and disciplined application of your efforts, day after day. Start today and watch your own abundance grow. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you build your best life. I'd love to hear in the comments what one disciplined action you're committing to today. Let's support each other on this journey. Until next time, keep planting those seeds.